Hi, my lovely, lovely friends. It's Barbara, and I'm so happy to be here with you today. I have a very important message. First of all, I always want to express my gratitude for you taking the time to watch. And my message of today, I am sure so many people can relate to it. It's about going through heartbreak, being hurt by someone you love dearly, having given much, much love to someone and not seeing it returned, having given love to someone and being your trust being misused. So you are going to some deep disappointment and some pain and hurt that you didn't, even thought it was possible that it would happen, that that person would do that to you. Why is this happening? And what is this teaching you? It is teaching you that human love, romantic love, is very often conditional love. We give and we expect something in return. We give love, we give attention, and we expect it in return, which is perfectly human and natural. But some people are so self-centered. Some people are, you could say like bloodsuckers. They suck out the love of you and they are incapable. They are simply incapable of returning the love because they in themselves are struggling. They are unconscious. They have a certain personality structure that doesn't allow them to give love. If we go through that disappointment, what we learn is that there is a big difference between unconditional love and attachment. What is hurting you is the attachment, is the attachment to the other person. Because love, real love gives. Real love is unconditional. Real love doesn't expect anything in return. Does that mean that you have to make use of you or let abuse you? No, not at all. There's a big difference. First of all, the first love that we have to teach ourselves is the self-love and the self-respect. Once we can fill ourselves with that deep love, knowing at a profound level that we are loved in a divine way all of the time, whether we are in a good mood or in a bad mood, the divine loves us. And when we go through life knowing that we are so deeply loved, we are not desperately needing and seeking that love from another human being. And does that mean that, like romantic love is bad? No, not at all. It can be beautiful. But there's a big difference. If you go through life with that sense that you are divinely loved, you are generous with your love, and you don't even expect love in return. But since you are radiating that love and light, it gets returned from the right people. And the people who do not return, you are okay with it because you are detached from it. And was I disappointed in my life many times? Yes, I was. And why was that? Because I put expectations on that person. I even had it in the early years of my marriage. Like I gave and I served and I did everything from my husband. And he got used to it and he got spoiled. And then I saw it was, like me in treating him that way like a king. And he was like very comfortable with it and didn't feel the need, like really to return it in the same way. I went to some difficult years. But those years taught me so much. It taught me, first of all, to stand up for myself, to take care of myself and to love myself in a way that I also choose to do things that I loved and not be high and not be only at service of my family. Of course, I love to be there for my husband and my kids, but I am a human being myself too. So I followed courses, I read books, I have my career, and it's in balance now. There's a balance that I give to myself and I give to others. And what could I see when I was so disappointed in other people? I could see that those expectations were not realistic, that I had to accept that the other person is always a human with gifts and flaws, as I have gifts and flaws. So accepting it in another person made it see within myself too. I do not have to exhaust myself to be lovable. I do not have to exhaust myself to get approval of someone. When you fill yourself with that divine love, when you know that you are deeply loved, you no longer need love or approval of someone else, because you are embodying that love. You are embodying that light and you share it. And in sharing it, it comes back naturally. People come, like you are a loving presence, and a loving presence is always attractive for other people. They want to be with you because you have something that they are looking for. And they are still in the stage that they look outside themselves for it. But the source of all love is within ourselves. And when, the best way to connect with that divine love is to pray or to meditate. So when you are in a very difficult period in your life right now, when you are in a heartbreak, when you are crying for a lost love, bless your tears. Bless your tears, because there is so much wisdom in those tears. If you want to learn, if you want to see the treasure in it, there is a treasure in your pain. And if you have the courage to go through the pain, you will find the treasure of self-love and of the feeling of being divinely loved. And that's what I wanted to share with you today, to discover the blessing in your pain, to discover how deeply loved you are. And that's why I'm here every week, to give you that feeling, how truly loved you are. And whether you made mistakes in your life, whether you have some flaws, it's okay. You are human and you deserve to be loved, and you are loved anyway. So that was my message for today. I am always grateful for your presence in my life. You bring so much joy. You have taught me so much. I feel blessed for all the kind and loving people in this community. I love your comments. There's so much wisdom in you, and I'm grateful to be able to see it and that you share it. I feel honored to know you. So if you feel like someone would have benefit from listening to this message, share it. And thank you for every share. Thank you for every loving heart. Thank you for every comment. Love you so much. Bye-bye. Hi, my lovely, lovely friends. It's Barbara. And I had a very important message for you today. And I have a message I think everybody can relate to. And it is the power of the thoughts that we have, the power of the people surrounding us. So if we are aware what we fill our minds with, we become a lot more powerful. We are in charge and we know what we fill our mind with. If you have people, you surround yourself with people who are no good for you. If you surround yourself with negative people, if you surround yourself with people who bring you down, with people who gossip all of the time, if you read or you are, like watching shows on television who are gossiping, who are bringing people down, who are full of drama, it is something that reflects on you. So you are in charge of what you fill your mind with. If you read books that give you peace of mind, if you surround yourself with people who support you, who are loving, who bring out the best in you, you are growing as a human being. But that's up to you. Nobody else can do it for you. You know, your happiness lays not in your circumstances. Your happiness lays within you. Your happiness lays within your happiness lays within the thoughts you fill your mind with. We have thousands of thoughts running through our head every day. You choose on what you focus. Let's say you have a beautiful day and someone tells you something negative because that person is not feeling well that day. You have the choice. Will you go on with your beautiful day, looking to the sunshine, looking to find joy in little things, or will you choose to focus on the words of that negative person? It's your choice. If you are choosing the powerful choice, you just let go of what that other person told you. You see it as a reflection of that other person that has nothing to do with you. And you take distance from those words. That doesn't mean that you have to start judging that other person, because that doesn't help you. Judgment weakens you. Negative thoughts, depressed thoughts, they weaken you. And we all have difficult days. I have difficult days too. And sometimes I have tears too. And then I let it go. And I found the power and strength within myself. I know what helps me to make me more powerful. It's through meditation and prayer. I know that. And then I do that. I read books which uplift me. I surround myself with people I love and with people who love me. Just like you. You are the joy in my life. I feel so deeply grateful for your presence in my life, and you know that. So today I really wanted to remind you, watch your thoughts. Watch what you fill your mind with. If you watch every night for 3 or 4 hours show with drama, and just because you had a busy day and you stay in an unconscious state before television, that doesn't help you. It helps you a lot more to find a quiet place, to go in meditation, and to watch your thoughts, and to master your own mind, and to open your heart. Always open your heart for yourself. And, fill yourself with love. Because if we cannot love ourselves first, if we are not in full acceptance for our human form, and I really wanted to say that today, never forget, I am no teacher, I am no mentor, I'm just as human as you. I am a learner, I am a seeker, I am a disciple, I am nothing more and nothing less than you are. I ask myself questions. I look deep in my heart and look for the wisdom in every life lesson. And I'm just so grateful that I'm able to share it with you. I love you. Like I show my heart every time, because living from your heart and mastering your mind, that's the key to happiness. Not let uncontrolled thoughts of negativity run your life. That's very important. You are in charge, but always connect with your heart and with that divine space within yourself, surrendering to something that bigger than you. So that was my message for today. Surround yourself with positive people. Fill your mind with prayer, meditation. See the sacredness in life. Cherish and nurture the gift of life. Make the best of it, and as always, be an example of love and kindness. A more beautiful world starts with a more beautiful you and a more beautiful me. So, love you all so, love you, I didn't know what I was doing. Love you all so much, and hear you next week. Bye-bye. Hi, my lovely, lovely friends. It's Barbara. And today is my birthday, and I wanted to share a special message with you today. I was born 48 years ago. And until now, it has been quite an experience. And I wanted to invite you today to look at your life in a way that maybe you haven't looked before. See it as an experience, as a ride, as a gift. And look at life, look for the beauty everywhere around you. Instead of living in your head, full of expectations and thoughts how you think your life should be, instead of wanting to control how your life should look like. So instead of living in your head, of having all those expectations of how life should be, just experience and see the beauty in the smallest things around you. Just enjoy a smile of another person. Thank you. Just, if you see a flower, smell the scent of it and be grateful for every beautiful moment on your day. And not wanting you to control during the day how your day should look like will make you so much more happy. Because you will accept things as they come. And in accepting life as it is, it gets a special taste. You are grateful for every moment, even if the moment doesn't look like what you expected. It's very often those expectations and those thoughts about how the situation or how your day should be that kill your joy. Being open for life, opening your heart, then the joy can come out. The joy that maybe you were blind for before because you were so obsessed about a certain person. You were so obsessed about how your job should look like. No, just open up for life. It's, like if someone offers you something, even if it's smaller than you expected, be grateful for every gift of life. And that's what I wanted to share with you. I also wanted to express my gratitude for your presence in my life. You have no idea how much joy you bring into my life every week again. You make my heart warmer when I see the comments, when I see, how many people on my page are this kind and loving people, trying to better themselves, trying to make this world a beautiful place. You make me hopeful every single week. I feel grateful that you stop by and say hi every single week. And if you think that someone should hear the message of living without expectations, of living in gratitude, full of joy for every moment the day brings, then please share the message for someone who could use who could use some love. And remember, you are loved. Whether you have made mistakes in your life, you are loved. Whether you think you are too tall, too small, too thick, too thin, you are loved. You are loved anyway. Whoever you are, where you were born, no matter how. You are deeply, deeply loved. Go through the day with that sense of being loved. Go through the day without expectations, but looking for beauty everywhere around you, and you will find it. I guarantee you. Look for the love. Look for the smile on someone's face who meets you and who responds to your smile, and be deeply grateful for the smallest things. And even if it's not returned, you be the source. Be the source of love and kindness, and spread it around. Because when you feel loved, when you know you are divinely loved, always, every moment of every day, whether you are in distress, whether you are in love, you are watched over and you are loved. And if you can go through life with that feeling, you can spread that love to others, and you will give that others those feeling. Whether they feel hurt, give them the feeling they are loved. Even if they are behaving in a way that they express their hurt to you, just make them feel loved. So grateful that you watched this message. So grateful to have you in my life. So grateful that you were here. Love you so much. Hear you next week, and enjoy your day. Bye-bye. Hi, my lovely, lovely Facebook friends. It's Barbara. And first of all, I'm happy to be here. I'm sorry I couldn't come last week, but it was a very hectic week. It was a rather rough week, and that's why, first of all, I want to express my gratitude to watch and always to be there. It's always such a pleasure for me to see your comments, to see the shares, like to share the message of kindness, of compassion. And since I had a rather rough week, I wanted to talk to you today about challenges and difficulties in life, and how we can turn those challenges and difficulties, hi Uma, how we can turn those challenges and difficulties into something very powerful within ourselves. Last week, when, I was in a week when nothing went right, everything went wrong, the kids were home, in business, and I got very stressed, and I felt my stress coming up. And the thing is that when your stress comes up, you overreact. And at that moment, your thoughts, your mind, and your stressful thoughts are running your life. Which means it's a never-ending circle. You are stressed, so you react stressfully to your children. They are more stressful, and then you are in the circle of stress. And at that moment, when you're in the stress when you're in the stress and the hectic, and sometimes the hurt and the panic, it's very difficult to detach from our thoughts, because very often there are emotions attached to it. And when we start getting frustrated, one of the best things to do is to get quiet, to pray or to meditate, and detach from all the panic, the hectic, the stress. It's in detaching that we regain our power over our lives. At that moment, we do no longer let the stressful thoughts run our life. No, we take distance from the thoughts. We go back to the center and we connect, because we always choose from moment to moment how we respond to the people around us, how we respond to the circumstances. And once we get the awareness, I think the awareness is the most important thing. Seeing it's not your child. Maybe your child is yelling and not behaving very well, but you have the choice how you respond. Maybe your boss has a difficult day, but you have the choice how you respond. And in moments when we are stressed ourselves, it's like going like louder and higher, and we get really overstressed. And in detaching and seeing, the power is in the detaching and seeing you are not your thoughts. Those thoughts are born in moments of panic. Those are thoughts of panic and frustration. But once we can detach, we give ourselves the choice how we will respond to that situation. And it's not always easy, I know. But if we have that choice, if your boss is yelling at you because he has a difficult day, because he is overstressed, you have the choice. You can stay calm and centered and leave the stress and the anger and, the unresolved issues of your boss with him. Same with your children. The fact that you are reacting, the fact that you are overreacting means you have to watch inside. It has nothing to do with your boss, or it has nothing to do with your children. So detaching and finding the power within yourself, that choice is giving you that power. So the challenges that we encounter in life are each time an invitation to make us aware, and an invitation to reveal that power that we have within us. If we wouldn't have, it's like with a calm sea. If we would never have challenges and difficult moments, we would not be able to develop our self-confidence, to stand up for ourselves, to find that worthiness. It's only through those difficult moments that we learn and grow. But we need the courage. We need the courage, first of all, to be honest with ourselves. Because the most easy thing is to blame the other person. The most easy thing is to go into victim mentality and to say, it's my circumstances, it's my boss, it's my husband, it's my child, it's not me. Well, at that moment, you make yourself completely powerless, and you let depend your happiness and your worthiness from the things around you. When you can see that those challenges are an invitation to go within yourself, give you the choice how you respond, you can be very calm, kind, and powerful, and even be compassionate for an angry boss or, like a child that is not behaving. Because you are centered, you are connected. And I think each difficulty for me in my life, it's very often like that. And I see it with clients too. Challenges and difficulties are very often an invitation from the divine to connect with that divine part in ourselves again, to see the sacredness in our lives. And it's often in the deepest sadness, in the darkest hour, that we realize that this life experience is a return home to love, a return to our natural state, which is love and light. And we need sometimes those difficult moments, because when everything goes well, we forget to meditate, we forget to pray, and sometimes we even become complacent and less compassionate. But when we are in deep hurt, in very difficult moments, then we go to that divine, we search for that divine connection. So you could say that those challenges, those difficulties, are really a way to turn inward and to connect with that divine essence within ourselves. It's an opportunity and it's a gift. And I believe very strongly that people who encounter severe challenges are given those challenges because they have the power to overcome them. They may not see it in the moment. I think there is gold in every dark moment. And yes, we have tears. I have them too. I'm a very sensitive soul. And I have cried so many tears in my life already. But each time I had the courage to look within myself, how I ended up in the situation and how I could get out of it and get out of it stronger and not let it happen once again. And then I encounter other things. And very often, in the moment when everything is difficult, I don't see it. But afterwards, then I can see what the gift was, the blessing in that difficult moment. And each time, in every crisis or difficult moment in our lives, there is always a blessing hidden. But we have to see it. So, I wanted to thank you for watching. And I wanted to especially, I always send you love. I'm always overflowing with love for you. You are the joy in my life. And I wanted especially to encourage you that whatever situation you are in now, it is not hopeless. Because it's an invitation. It's an invitation for you to grow stronger. It's an invitation for you to expand your soul, to open your heart, and to live from that divine place. And to leave everything that is from this world outside. And look for the meaning behind it when things are happening. Look if you don't see a pattern in your life, things happening over and over again. If you see that you end up each time in the same situation, like people making misuse or abuse of your goodness, look at it. Look, that's an invitation to stand up for yourself, to find your worthiness, to know that you are a divine, a beautiful and pure soul. Even if someone else doesn't see it, you have to see it first. You have to believe it first, and then you start radiating it to the world, and the world will reflect it. So, I thank you so, so much for your presence here, for watching. If you feel like someone can benefit from this message, please feel free to share. I love you so much, and hear you next week. Bye-bye. Hi, my lovely, lovely Facebook friends. It's Barbara. And first of all, I wanted to express my gratitude for you watching. And I wanted to express my gratitude to be alive today. Because tomorrow is a very special anniversary for me. Tomorrow, it will be exactly 15 years ago that I was told I had an incurable cancer, that I was told that I had a stage 4 skin cancer and that I would not survive the end of the year. My youngest son was 8 weeks old at the time. My daughter, my oldest, was almost 4 years, and my middle was 2 years and a half. So there I was with 3 little children, 15 years ago, told that I would probably not survive. And today I wanted, first of all, express my gratitude, always being so happy to talk to you, to have this opportunity, and really to be alive. So many times we take our life for granted. And if there's one thing that surviving cancer taught me, it's that this life is a gift. This life is a gift, and it is what we make of it. It is what we put in it, of our heart. If we go through life with a positive attitude, being grateful and making the best of every day, then every day we are building a positive and happy life. But it is all within our power, because the circumstances are always there. And so many people, so many times they go through life complaining, always focusing on what is not right in their life, on what is not going in their life. And yet there are so many things to be grateful for every single day. And that's what I learned. And the second thing that I learned in surviving the cancer was how important human connection is. How important, because at 15 years ago, I was 32 years old. And when I heard, like that shocking news, I looked back and I was asking myself, am I happy with my legacy? And I was not at that time, because at that time I was working hard, following, like the path that everybody follows, following, like studying, go to school, work, having children, building a business. But I didn't follow my heart, and I wasn't aware of the impact we have every day on the people around us. And that's something that I'm very aware of now. Like just give a smile to someone, share some love, be a positive influence in other people, because we have that power. Hi, Uma, I'm so happy to catch you. Having that positive influence in somebody else's life, that's the only thing that will, will remain at the end of our lives, the hearts we touched. And that is something that I am so aware of every day. I work a lot, and I know we need things, and we need a car, and we need a house to live in. But the most important thing are the people. Because the house can be replaced, the car can be replaced, but the hearts you touch, that's where the magic happens. The hearts you touch, that's where the divine is born. Just giving a smile to someone, giving someone a helping hand. It is not only, like fulfilling for the person who is helped, but it fulfills our own heart. To be of service of someone is one of the most beautiful things we can do. And that's what I wanted to share with you. Be grateful that this life is given to you. It's a sacred gift. Do not lose, do not lose of sight the sacredness of our life. There is sacredness in every moment. But we have just to open our eyes. We have to open our heart to see the beauty, to see the sacredness of a little child playing, to see the sacredness of a family dinner, of the beautiful moment, instead of dimming our mind with worries and thoughts of how things should be. Oh, hi, Sherry. Thank you so much. Like keeping our eyes and heart open for the sacredness of every moment. And it is there, even if sometimes we all have bad days. And I had a very rough week. And when we are going through some painful days, sometimes it's difficult to get in touch with, like the divine within us, to get in touch with that sacredness. And yet, it is always there. We are always divinely supported, whether we are aware of it or not. And if we are aware of it, the feeling it gives, that divine support that we all have, it is such an enrichment in your life. That is the true essence of your life. Like that divine source within yourself connecting. And I know many, many times we are hard on ourselves. And I know I am guilty of that so many times. I think that I should be better at this. I think I should work harder. We all have that. And in accepting that we are human, and accepting that we are not perfect, and accepting that we are okay the way we are. Divinely we are loved anyway, with our gifts and with our flaws, we are loved anyway. So if we could love ourselves unconditionally in the same way, first of all, we would feel very powerful. We would feel loved. And I know sometimes we feel unlovable. We feel like we have made mistakes. But you have to remember, from a divine perspective, you are loved. You are beautiful. And you are perfect the way you are. Even in your human form, you may be not perfect, but from a divine perspective, you are perfect. And that's what I wanted to give to you today. You know, like that sense that you are okay, that you are beautiful, that your life is a gift, and that you have all that love within your heart that you can share with someone else. I love you so deeply. You know that. I am grateful every week again that you join, that you watch, that you comment, that you share. And please feel free, if you think someone should hear how life is a sacred gift and how loved they are, no matter what, feel free to share. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day. Love you. Bye-bye. Hi, my lovely, lovely Facebook friends. It's Barbara. And first of all, I'm happy to be here. I'm sorry I couldn't come last week, but it was a very hectic week. It was a rather rough week. And that's why, first of all, I want to express my gratitude to watch and always to be there. It's always such a pleasure for me to see your comments, to see the shares, you know, like to share the message of kindness, of compassion. And since I had a rather rough week, I wanted to talk to you today about challenges and difficulties in life and how we can turn those challenges and difficulties, hi Uma, how we can turn those challenges and difficulties into something very powerful within ourselves. Last week, when, you know, like I was in a week when nothing went right, everything went wrong, the kids were home, you know, in business, and I got very stressed and I felt my stress coming up. And the thing is that when your stress comes up, you overreact. And at that moment, you know, like your thoughts, your mind, and your stressful thoughts are running your life, which means like it's a never-ending circle. You are stressed, so you react stressfully to your children. They, you know, they are more stressful, and then you are like in the circle of stress. And at that moment, when you're in the stress high, when you're in the stress and the hectic and, you know, sometimes the hurt and the panic, it's very difficult to detach from our thoughts because very often there are emotions attached to it. And when we start getting frustrated, one of the best things to do is to get quiet, to pray or to meditate and detach from all the panic, the hectic, the stress. It's in detaching that we regain our power over our lives. We do, at that moment, we do no longer let the stressful thoughts run our life. No, we, you know, like we take distance from the thoughts. We go back to the center and we connect because we always choose from moment to moment how we respond to the people around us, how we respond to the circumstances. And once we get the awareness, I think the awareness is the most important thing, seeing it. Seeing it's not your child. Maybe your child is yelling and not behaving very well. But you have the choice how you respond. Maybe your boss has a difficult day. But you have the choice how you respond. And in moments when we are stressed ourselves, you know, it's like going like louder and higher, and we get really overstressed. And in detaching and seeing, the power is in the detaching and seeing you are not your thoughts. Those thoughts are born in moments of panic. Those are thoughts of panic and frustration. But once we can detach, we give ourselves the choice how we will respond to that situation. And it's not always easy, I know. But if we have that choice, if your boss is yelling at you because he has a difficult day, because he is overstressed, you have the choice. You can stay calm and centered and leave the stress and the anger and, the unresolved issues of your boss with him. Same with your children. The fact that you are reacting, the fact that you are overreacting means you have to watch inside. It has nothing to do with your boss, or it has nothing to do with your children. So detaching and finding the power within yourself, that choice is giving you that power. So the challenges that we encounter in life are each time an invitation to make us aware, and an invitation to reveal that power that we have within us. If we wouldn't have, it's like with a calm sea. If we would never have challenges and difficult moments, we would not be able to develop our self-confidence, to stand up for ourselves, to find that worthiness. It's only through those difficult moments that we learn and grow. But we need the courage. We need the courage, first of all, to be honest with ourselves. Because the most easy thing is to blame the other person. The most easy thing is to go into victim mentality and to say, it's my circumstances, it's my boss, it's my husband, it's my child, it's not me. Well, at that moment, you make yourself completely powerless, and you let depend your happiness and your worthiness from the things around you. When you can see that those challenges are an invitation to go within yourself, give you the choice how you respond, you can be very calm, kind, and powerful, and even be compassionate for an angry boss or, like a child that is not behaving. Because you are centered, you are connected. And I think each difficulty for me in my life, it's very often like that. And I see it with clients too. Challenges and difficulties are very often an invitation from the divine to connect with that divine part in ourselves again, to see the sacredness in our lives. And it's often in the deepest sadness, in the darkest hour, that we realize that this life experience is a return home to love, a return to our natural state, which is love and light. And we need sometimes those difficult moments, because when everything goes well, we forget to meditate, we forget to pray, and sometimes we even become complacent and less compassionate. But when we are in deep hurt, in very difficult moments, then we go to that divine, we search for that divine connection. So you could say that those challenges, those difficulties, are really a way to turn inward and to connect with that divine essence within ourselves. It's an opportunity and it's a gift. And I believe very strongly that people who encounter severe challenges are given those challenges because they have the power to overcome them. They may not see it in the moment. I think there is gold in every dark moment. And yes, we have tears. I have them too. I'm a very sensitive soul. And I have cried so many tears in my life already. But each time I had the courage to look within myself how I ended up in the situation and how I could get out of it and get out of it stronger and not let it happen once again. And then I encounter other things. And very often, in the moment when everything is difficult, I don't see it. But afterwards, then I can see what the gift was, the blessing in that difficult moment. And each time, in every crisis or difficult moment in our lives, there is always a blessing hidden. But we have to see it. So, I wanted to thank you for watching. And I wanted to especially, I always send you love. I'm always overflowing with love for you. You are the joy in my life. And I wanted especially to encourage you that whatever situation you are in now, it is not hopeless. Because it's an invitation. It's an invitation for you to grow stronger. It's an invitation for you to expand your soul, to open your heart, and to live from that divine place. And to leave everything that is from this world outside. And look for the meaning behind it when things are happening. Look if you don't see a pattern in your life. Things happening over and over again. If you see that you end up each time in the same situation, like people making misuse or abuse of your goodness, look at it. Look, that's an invitation to stand up for yourself, to find your worthiness, to know that you are a divine, a beautiful and pure soul. Even if someone else doesn't see it, you have to see it first. You have to believe it first, and then you start radiating it to the world, and the world will reflect it. So, I thank you so, so much for your presence here, for watching. If you feel like someone can benefit from this message, please feel free to share. I love you so much, and hear you next week. Bye-bye. Hi, my lovely, lovely Facebook friends. It's Barbara, and I had a very important message to share with you today. Today I wanted to talk about letting go and being able to adapt to change. Many times when something happens in our lives that makes us sad, that we don't like, that give us, that hurt us. Many times it has to do with expectations. It has to do with us wanting to be the circumstances, the situation, or a certain person in a certain way. We want to control the outcome. We want to control the behavior of the person. And we want to control how things go. And often, life doesn't work that way. Things happen, and we get hurt, we get sad. And many times, we repeat that same hurting story over and over again in our head. And it makes us sad again. Letting go and being okay with the situation as it is makes you very powerful. Adapting to changing situations makes you, first of all, more powerful, but also more weaponed for your future. If you keep draining yourself if you keep being negative about something that happened, and you know, if you let your past determine your moment now, if you let your past really keep that shadow over your life now, then it's really, you are missing so many opportunities because you let that dark cloud of the past hanging over your present. And we all have dark clouds now and then. Our negative thoughts are like that dark clouds. But you know, as in reality, the sun is always there. The sun is present behind the dark clouds if we are willing to turn our face, if we are willing to let go of that past. If we can do that, even all the feelings attached to those experiences in the past, we learn from it and we move on, and that's how we grow. Because if we have gone through some difficult times, let's say, you know, you lost your job and you are now without a job. Maybe first of all, the job wasn't your dream job. So you can always look at that situation in a negative way or a positive way. You could keep repeating how much bad luck you have in losing your job, how awful your life is. Or you could just let go of that experience and look at new opportunities and say to yourself, like, okay, it's not the best situation that I'm in, but I'm making the best of it. It's a new opportunity. I can find a new job. Maybe I will find something that is even better for me, that is, where I can put more value, where I could put more of my talent in, instead of repeating the sad story of losing your job. And we have thousands of situations like that every day in our lives. If your mother-in-law told you something negative, you have the choice. Will you repeat it all evening? That one sentence that she told you? Maybe she told you, oh, you're getting fat, or oh, you cannot cook. Will you believe that? Will you repeat that story? That is her version of reality. That's how she looks at it. But you have the choice if you let determine your present moment by it or not. If you, if you let someone else, you give your mother-in-law the power, or the situation of being jobless, give that the power over your happiness in this moment. That's your choice. And you always have the choice to let it go and to focus on the things that are going well. You always can turn inward to your own love and light, to what you have to offer to the world. Because if there's one thing that I always want to, stress or focus in, that is about the significance of your life, the worthiness that you have as a human being. You have something to offer to this world. Never forget that. Look within you for that love, that light, that spark, that unique talent that you have and that you can share with the world. And never ever let any situation, let any comment of a person, or let any person give that power to that person or that situation to dim your spark, to make you smaller. Let it go. And if things don't go as you want, let go of control. Control makes you sad, because we cannot control our circumstances. We just have to, go with the flow. And that makes us the most happy and fulfilled persons. And always remember, life is a precious gift. If we can look in everything during the day, even if you are making a cup of tea, If you are putting all your love in making that tea, you are making that moment sacred. If you are walking in the street and you are giving your smile to someone else, that is a sacred moment. The moment that the other person smiles because of you, it's sacred. And if we can go through life and feeling the preciousness, the sacredness of every moment, the love that we can put in every activity we do, that is how we make our life beautiful, how we have the power to turn our lives in something precious and valuable, not only for ourselves, but also for other people. You know, and it's always first, we fill our heart with love so that we can let it spill over and share it with other people. Every gesture of love, of kindness, makes your life sacred, makes your life holy. It's in those little moments. We don't have to pray and go to church all day to be holy. Not at all. Just put love in every act, in every word. You know, like be mindful of the words we speak. Be mindful of the persons we deal with. If you go, you know, you are around persons who gossip all day, who are negative, you take it over. So take distance and spend your time with positive people, with people who make you laugh, who give you joy. And you have that power. You know, that's always what I want to give you, is remind you, you have the power to make your life beautiful. Adapting, you know, like having that adaptability to change, you know, like go with the waves. Sometimes the waves goes up, and other times the waves go down, and we just have to, you know, like go with the wave and see how we can, our attitude, always adapt our attitude and make the best of it. So instead of living in the past, instead of repeating sad and hurtful stories, just, you know, like focus on what we have, focus on the opportunities, focus on the value we have to offer to other people. So, you know, that's my message that I wanted to share with you today. I love you all so much. I am grateful every week for all your comments. I am grateful for your effort, you know, to see things in another perspective. I am grateful for your kindness, for your love, for your effort to make this world a more beautiful and a kinder place. Deeply grateful. I love you deeply, and you know that. See you back next week. Sending you, you know, like lots of love, and bye-bye. Oh, no. Oh, I thought you were back. It's already the third time that I'm trying. I'm happy to be back. There's some problems with the connection today. So, happy to be here. Hi, Fatima. I wanted to talk today about fear and all kinds of fear that can hold you back from experiencing full joy in your life. Lots of people are very worried, are very occupied about how the outside world thinks about them. And that is controlling their life. People are fearful to try new things in their lives. Sometimes they are fearful, like to go for a new job, because they are afraid to fail. They are afraid what other people might say. And what other people, when we go through life only thinking about what other people might think about us, it is giving us it's a pressure. First of all, we do not know exactly what other people think. Second, some people think this, other people think that. If we have to adapt, if we have to adapt our lives to what other people might think, for the approval of others, we will never listen to our own soul. We will never listen to our own voice. We will never connect with our own gifts that we are born with, and that we are born with to share with the world. So many people go through life with a wall around them for protection. They pretend, or they go outside with a smile. They go outside like they are happy and successful, and deep inside they feel small, they feel fearful, and they are very afraid to share that with someone. And that creates loneliness. If you have no one to share, that sometimes you are doubting, that sometimes you don't know, then you are very lonely. And I can tell you right away, sometimes I do doubt myself also. But what have I learned? When I start doubting myself, when I start making myself smaller, like telling myself, well, Barbara, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? You have something to say to people in a video. Well, I recognize that voice. I know that is the negative voice of self-doubt. That is an old voice, and that is not me. That is not the love and the light within myself. It is only a voice, and I have learned to recognize it. And I have learned to listen to the voice of wisdom within myself. To put the negative voices outside myself and to not listen anymore. If you have people around you who are negative, who are putting you down, who are making you smaller, then it is a sign that they are full of fear, that they are not dreaming anymore, that they are projecting what they feel, what they feel upon you. So never bury your dreams because of someone else. Never, if you really, really feel in your heart, you are born for something. Never bury that. And yes, it may take some time. For me, fulfilling my dream to talk to you, to be a mentor and a coach, it took a long time too. We have to be patient, we have to grow, and we have to blossom. Overnight success does not exist. A person who becomes successful in a week or a month, that does not exist. Look at athletes. Look how they have to train. They have to train for thousands of hours to become a real professional. And that's with everything you do in life. Whether you dream to become an artist and to paint, it will take lots of practice and lots of patience. Whether you want to become the best cook in the world, it will take lots of patience and practice. With everything you dream of and you want to do, your dream, you keep it alive by your passion, your hunger to do it. But at the same time, you have to be patient to fulfill your dream. And you know, you can have all kinds of dreams, but never ever let the fear of failure stop you. Because to become a success, you have to fail several times. I failed too in my life, many times. And it only makes you stronger and so much more powerful, because your biggest strength, your biggest lesson is in getting back up again. Your biggest power lays not in the moment that you are very successful, because, you know, like the big success is a big danger to become arrogant, to become complacent, and to be, you know, like to think that it's easy. No, your biggest power and strength comes when you stumble, when you fall, And you have to think about solutions to get up again. You have to think about solutions to take your life in hands again and to make it better again. That's the moment when you grow. That's the moment when you become powerful. It's in getting back up again, dusting yourself off and not giving up and going on and knowing that there is a great destiny for you, knowing that you are worth it, knowing that you have so much to offer to the world that is within you. And it's not like someone else is going to pick you up and to say who is going to do it for you. No, you have to find that strength and courage within yourself. And once you have silenced the voices of self-doubt, and that's never permanent because they come up over and over again, but once you recognize them, you can take distance. You become stronger, and your fire in yourself is burning harder to share your passion, to share your love, your kindness with the rest of the world. Because that's what the world needs. The world needs people who are balanced, who are full of self-love, and who can share that love, that strength, and that power that they feel within themselves with the rest of the world. If you listen too much to other people, if you let your life control by the voices of others, then you can become very unhappy. You always have to take responsibility for your own life. You have to see that is within you, that it doesn't come from the outside. And having that power within yourself, it comes from believing in yourself, and it comes from every time recognizing that you are the source of your happiness. You are the source of your abundance. And you are the source of everything good in your life. Because before every situation you stand in your life, you have the choice. Will I look at this situation from a positive side, or will I look at this situation from a negative side? That's your choice with everything you go through. That's with everyone like that. I realized that from very early on as a child. As you know, I did not have an easy childhood. I grew up with an addicted mom. And from very early on, I did the household. I was the oldest of 3. And I could see how my mom, which I have, a very, very good relationship now. She's completely healed from all she went through. But when I was little, I could see how my mom used her outside circumstances to become depressed. She would say, it's the children. She would say, it's my husband. She could always find something to make herself unhappy. And as a little child, I could see that. And I was thinking, if we can use circumstances to make ourselves unhappy, we can use circumstances to build ourselves up, to make ourselves happy. And that's your power. Before every situation you stand, you can choose how you deal with that situation. Is that situation going to make you stronger? Or are you going to give up and to hide for life? Or are you going to savor life fully? Life, which is a series of experiences. And those experiences, we are here to let our soul grow through those experiences. So that was my message for today. Do not let the fear of failure or the fear of the judgments of other people, the fear of what other people might say, hold you back. Because you know, and I know, you are born worthy. You are born enough. You have everything in you to succeed in this life. And yes, some of us have more difficult circumstances to overcome than others. But the more difficult circumstances you are facing right now, the bigger the opportunity for you to show your light, to build your power, and to share it with the world. So that was my message for today. As always, deeply, deeply grateful for your presence in my life. Deeply grateful for your time to listen to me. Deeply grateful that you are willing to learn and to grow. That is a gift for me. Love you all and hear you next week. Much love. Bye-bye. Hi, my lovely, lovely friends. It's Barbara. And I wanted to share some bliss and some love today with you and speak about our power within us, especially. We have different ways how we can go through life. We can go through life in a powerful way, or we can go through life in a powerless way. The choice is ours. I will show you a little difference. Going through life in a powerless way is going through life blaming your circumstances. Going through life in a powerless way is comparing yourself to other persons, and pulling yourself down. So why is blaming your circumstances making you powerless? Because you are putting the power in your circumstances. You are saying, for example, I was born in a poor family. That's why I will be poor my entire life. I was born in a country which doesn't respect certain laws, and that makes me like I cannot have this or that. So putting that power outside yourself is making you weaker. There is always a way. If you can realize at a profound level that the circumstances that you live in are always an opportunity to transcend that circumstances, to overcome those circumstances, to make you stronger. I overcame so many things. I had not an easy childhood. You know, like from a young age, I helped in household. I had to do a lot. It was not always, like it was sometimes difficult. At the age of 32, I was told that I had a stage 4 skin cancer. I had 3 little children and a business to run. My youngest was 6 weeks old, and the doctors told me that I had 6 months to live. 2 years ago, my business almost went bankrupt, and I ended with lots of debt. And regardless of my very difficult circumstances that I had, I overcame all of them. I experienced sadness in my life. I experienced setbacks. I experienced disappointments in people. I experienced many, many things. But each time I have looked for the lesson within that experience. I have looked how that difficult situation could make me stronger. I always looked, even if, I have friendships that ended. I have been betrayed at, like when I was younger, by sometimes, like a boyfriend that you were disappointed, that you loved so much. And you were so betrayed and disappointed. I was betrayed by my own employees. Did that make me love people less? No. It didn't make me love less. At the contrary, it deepened my compassion for the struggle that many people are in. If the people that betrayed me were people who were struggling, and I am not approve, like it's not like I'm approving their behavior. Not at all. Their behavior is for them. They will carry the circumstances of their behavior. But I will not let the negative behavior of someone else destroy my life. I will not let the negative behavior or negative circumstances destroy me, destroy my life, or poison my heart. Never. I will not allow that. All those difficulties open my heart. Lately I have been in this blissful, deeply grateful state. And I wondered in myself, like what has changed? And I can see I have become very conscious about my thoughts. I am watching my thoughts. And each time when I see that negative thoughts or thoughts about self-doubt are rising up, I wrap them up and I send them gently away. So I keep my mind very strong. My mind is the servant of my soul and my heart, and not the other way around. So keeping my mind strong and keeping my heart open makes me like an instrument for love. Within you, you have that bright light. You have that infinite power. Most people look their entire lives outside themselves to find happiness, outside themselves to find power, outside themselves to find sacredness, outside themselves to find the holiness. No, it's within us. If we can see the sacredness, the holiness within us, we connect with something so powerful, with something so beautiful, with something so much light, which carries so much light, that all you want to do is be of value for others, is be of service for others, because you want to share what you feel. And you know that the real power is in the service. The real power is being in service of others. And in being, like with every human being you encounter during the day, and you open your heart, you open the space, like you create that receiving space, because you are so powerful in your light and in your love that nobody can touch, like your bright light. Then you start to radiate. You become a magnet for other people. They want to be with you. They want to work with you. And most of all, you are deeply fulfilled because you do not depend on other people. You do not depend on other circumstances to feel that fulfillment. Just finding time in the morning, at noon, or in the evening to pray and meditate and connect with that light within, knowing that holiness, that all that you were looking outside yourself for is hidden within yourself. The divine is waiting for you to give it a place in your heart. My deepest wish for you is that you can open your heart, blossom, and unfold your soul, and live that purpose that you were born for. Like you have all those gifts and those talents that people are waiting for. People need you. The world needs you. The world needs your light. That's why you were born, to share your light. And that was my message that I wanted to share with you today. My wish is first of all to serve you, to be of value for you, to share my love with all of you, and to see you blossom. I am deeply grateful, more than grateful, for your presence in my life. Seeing you, reading your comments, gives me so much joy and pleasure. You sharing your light and your wisdom in the comments, like fills my heart, gives me so much hope, because I see how much kind people are in the world, even if the world is very often a dark place. It's up to us to shine our light. It's not up to us to wait for some other light to shine. No, it's within us. We have to shine our light. And we shine our light by being an example of love and kindness and compassion. So, thank you so much. I love you so much. And if you feel like someone could benefit from hearing this message, from hearing how much we need you, how much we need your light, how much we are loved always. We are deeply loved. If you can go through life with that faith, with that belief, you are adored and you are loved. And once you feel that at a profound level within yourself, all you want to do is be of service and share your love. So, that was my message for today. Love you so much and hear you next week. Bye-bye.